Okay, taking a look at question 15. The math is exactly the same as if there's an equal sign in here. It gets different when we graph. So when I do this question here, my thinking still starts with my variable right here. I need to undo and get rid of minus 3. Now, I've taught you a lot of different ways to think. Get rid of minus 3 by adding 3. I'm going to put my plus 3 here. Now, I said you might not get away with that next year. Who can raise their hand? Minus 3 plus 3 is gigantically cool. This cancels. That's the identity property of addition. Becomes 0. I have P. Less than. Anybody here explain to me why did I put the 3 above? No, it doesn't matter if I put it above, below, to the right. Who can raise their hand and tell me why did I put the 3 above? Yeah. Perfect. I know that this is a subtract absolute values. So I draw a line here. 3, positive. Negative 1, absolute values. 3 minus 1 is 2. Keep the sign of positive 2. Now, when I go over and graph this, I'm going to put open circle. Oh, P is less than 2. I'm going to put an open circle on 2. Like I said earlier when I was passing these back, or I'm going to pass these back, felt bad. I had somebody 8 wrong because they didn't know how to graph. So give me like 30 seconds, I'll get that person. Less than means to the left. Also, your arrow is going to the left. Color in your line this way. Let's roll with question 16. Now, 16 is gigantically hard. If you look, this is sticking out right here. I'm going to cross it off and I'm going to put it right here next to the 5. You have a choice. You're going to call that negative y over 5. You're going to call it a negative y over 5. You're going to call it y over negative 5. You got one negative sign. So now, I want to, in the way of y, I'm going to get rid of plus 1. Get rid of plus 1 by minus 1. I'm not a fan of the design of this question. And the reason I'm not a fan of the design of this question, I don't like it because it's going to give me 0 here. So, I get y over negative 5 greater than 0. Now, what I do like about this, how do I get rid of dividing by negative 5? Times by how much?
Negative 5.
Perfect. Who can raise their hand and tell me what happens when I multiply or divide by a negative and I brought the negative to the table? What happens when I'm putting multiply by negative 5 here, multiply by negative 5 here? What do I have to remember to do? Jade?
Flip your sign.
Perfect. Now, don't flip the sign just because there's a negative 12 hanging out on the far right somewhere. If you didn't bring the negative 12 to the table, that means you didn't change the work. This cancels out because negative 5 divided by negative 5 is positive 1. Y is less than 0. I didn't like the 0 part. I thought, boy, some people are going to screw up just because they can't multiply by 0. They messed that up. Okay, I put y less than 0 on my line. Open circle. Going to the left. Oh, and last but not least, I want someone to preview this question. It says 7 less than or equal to 2c minus 3. What do I want you to remember about this question that's going to affect it at the end? Next.
The C is on the right side.
Yeah, it's going to be a flipper. Now, who can explain to me, really in depth, how do I get a double flipper? It's cool if you can predict the work while you're doing it or before you do it. How does a double flipper happen? Yeah.
When you're either multiplying or dividing by negative and your variables on the right.
Perfectiomundo. Okay. Anytime your work comes from the variable side, add 3. Add 3. 10 less than or equal to 2c. I'm not going to worry about flipping or doing anything weird until the very end. I'm going to get it down to its letter first. 2 and c are hooked together by multiplication. Undo that by divide by 2. Divide by 2. 5 less than or equal to c. Now, you can flip the sign or you can take alligator. Alligator's eating c. Flip this around, c. 5. Alligator's eating c. c greater than or equal to 5. Now, here's what's slightly cool. As I slide over and graph this, who can raise their hand and tell me how do I graph this one? This one's slightly more complex. Greater than or equal to 5. Who can tell me how am I going to graph this? Owen. Fill in the circle on what number, 2? Which number am I filling the circle on? 5. Am I going left or right?
Right.
I'm going to the right. The original problem, no. Yeah. I am going to the right. Perfectly. Now, make sure you understand you only flip if you multiply or divide and the work that you did was negative. The work that you brought to the table. And I'm looking through and I'm double checking. This was less than. I should have, this was still less than. This was less than. My sign, it still seemed weird as I was talking. This sign should have been flipped. Was it flipped the right way? Oh, I see what I did. I'm doing the classic, did you double check the double checks or the triple checks? I have my original work, less than. My original work, less than. My original work, less than. Now my new work became greater than. My new work over here became greater than. Double, quadruple check that you put the sign on there because it's a great lesson to take a look at. Can you get confused on which sign needs to go there? Yes. I flipped it once, it should be opposite of what I did. I think I spent 30 seconds double